The Objective News Network, Fort Detrick and the U.S. Army. More evidence of a disregard for public health and safety. Hello, this is Hnatio reporting for the Objective News Network. A new book has just been published that provides new insights about a 2018 leak of bio-waste water into a local creek at Fort Detrick in Maryland. Detrick is the home of the U.S. Army's Biosafety Level 4 research facility. At Fort Detrick, they conduct research on deadly pathogens, including COVID-19 and other SARS subvariants. Ebola, smallpox, measles, the plague, and other toxic substances, including ricin, are the subject of research at Fort Detrick. Allison Young wrote in her recently released book, Pandora's Gamble, that the Army's response to the 2018 leak included a delayed reaction to the spill, delayed testing for biological hazards in the area surrounding the spill, delayed notification to local officials, and the Army's refusal to share copies of testing reports. Young says that the Army's denial that any dangerous biological materials were released cannot be verified because the Army's testing results were delayed too long. Later in 2019, well after the leak occurred, many biological research projects at Fort Detrick were immediately shut down after a CDC inspection. The CDC found a series of startling violations, including the lab didn't ensure laboratory personnel were wearing appropriate respiratory protection as they entered a contaminated room where non-human primates were infected with a classified biological agent and were housed in open caging. Laboratory personnel were caught disposing of waste in a biohazardous waste bin without gloves on. The CDC inspectors found that the United States Army Medical Research Institute of Infectious Diseases, or USAMRID for short, had, and I quote, systematically failed to ensure the implementation of biosafety and containment procedures commensurate with the risks associated with working with select agents and toxins, close quote. Other findings reported that regulated waste was being stored in an area with no access controls, and someone at the lab did not maintain an accurate or current inventory for a deadly toxin. In July 2019, the Fairfax County Department of Health in the state of Virginia reported that 63 individuals in a nursing home, about an hour's drive away from Fort Detrick, had become ill with respiratory and other symptoms ranging from severe coughs, fevers, and pneumonia-like symptoms over a period of just 11 days. 3 people died. Just a few days later, there was another outbreak of a respiratory-like illness at an assisted living facility about 9 miles away in Burke, Virginia, still in close proximity to Fort Detrick. About 25 people were made ill there, including 2 with pneumonia. But what baffled health officials was the number of residents so quickly impacted and the time of the year. Summer instead of winter, when flu and respiratory illness usually spread. Dr. Benjamin Schwartz, MD, a medical epidemiologist with the County Health Department, credited the fast movement of health officials and community leaders to institute strong preventive measures as the reason the outbreak was contained. Dr. Schwartz also reported that the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention had tested 17 specimens from sick patients, and was unable to determine a cause. As most of us know, Fort Detrick has a troubled past that goes well beyond the 2018 leaks of bio-wastewater and their poor safety record. In 2001, the escape of anthrax from secure areas of the laboratory. The FBI's as yet unproven allegations that Dr. Bruce Ivans, one of the lab's leading scientists, produced and then mailed anthrax samples, killing 5 people. The FBI has strongly resisted the use of advanced scientific biotechnology developments that can answer the question once and for all if Ivans is guilty or innocent. A microbiologist being locked in a minus 30-degree freezer for hours in 2004. A mouse that a researcher was injecting with a fluid containing a variant of the Zaire Ebola virus kicked the needle so that it pricked the researcher's hand through gloves. Or how about a 2016 audit by the Pentagon's own Inspector General of the entire military biological research enterprise, saying that, and again I quote, "The health and safety of the public was put at risk because those labs had used protocols that were not validated for their intended use, had been inspected irregularly or not at all, and had significant deficiencies and vulnerabilities that were not corrected by DoD management," close quote. Then, in March 2018, DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, received and reportedly rejected a proposal to conduct SARS-related research from a company called Echo Health Alliance. Then, Echo Health Alliance turns to Dr. Fauci and the National Institutes of Health to fund the project anyway. Echo Health Alliance then goes to Wuhan, China. In December 2019, the COVID-19 outbreak occurs in Wuhan, in Hubei province in China. The media has all but concluded that the source of the COVID-19 outbreak was the Wuhan Virology Institute. And maybe they're right. But researchers at Fort Detrick were also working on SARS and COVID variants. Has anybody investigated the possibility that Fort Detrick and the U.S. Army may have been a source for the release of a SARS-CoV variant in the summer of 2019 that potentially affected hundreds of people but was successfully contained? The answers to these questions are very important. It is what it is for May 10th, 2023. This is John Hnatio reporting for the Objective News Network. At ONN, we try to objectively look at all sides of the stories of the day. Please tell your family and friends about us and subscribe. Thank you for watching. We hope that we will see you the next time.